recent events have sparked this train of thought for me, but this is in no way a direct response to one person, one side, one situation. This video is to anybody that's ever gotten angry. So I'm pretty sure that includes you. Before we get too far into this video, take a moment to click subscribe, like this video, share this with a friend. I've been making content more regularly. It's been pretty fun, so you should come back for my next video.
Okay.
I never know what to say. It's easy being angry. It's easier to stay angry than to work on figuring out why you're angry, what the underlying cause is, how to fix it. It takes a lot of work, especially because a lot of the times we redirect our anger onto something other than what actually caused it. So you might be having trouble at home, but you get mad at your coworker, or you had a rough day at work and you take it out on your boyfriend. It happens to all of us. We can get sucked up into anger. It's very easy to stay there, especially righteous anger, which can be powerful and consuming. This type of anger is moralistic in nature. It's completely based off of your personal values and ethics. So if you see something unjust or morally wrong, you're going to get angry about it. And the thing about this type of anger is it's very complex. When you get angry, you also get like this surge of dopamine, I'm assuming it is, but it's a gratification for being on the higher ground. You're above the person that did the unjust thing. However, we get into this really gray area because the internet creates this new social environment. It allows for you to remain anonymous if you choose. It allows you to meet people in your little sub-niche that you wouldn't ever get the chance to meet in real life. So that's great. But that also gets you into this group mentality, and people are more likely to harm other people outside of their group when they're in this state of mind. People will also be more likely to do things contrary to their personal beliefs and their personal code of ethics when they're in a group. There's a lot of different factors for this. One, you feel like you will remain anonymous. You're less likely to get caught and get in trouble for your actions because there's so many people. Two, you feel less social responsibility for the collective actions. So it makes you feel less responsible. Number three, people may lose touch with their own personal ethics and personal values when in a group setting. It's like they suddenly forget what they believe and what they stand for, and they take on the group's morals and beliefs, which isn't always bad. Sometimes they align, sometimes they don't. Number four, groups can sometimes encourage people to reframe harmful actions into doing something for the greater good. Again, that's like losing touch with your personal beliefs and taking on the groups. Another weird thing about anger is this schadenfreude complex, which I'm probably mispronouncing. I tried. This is basically when you take pleasure in someone else's misfortune. And sounds kind of messed up, but we all do it. Think about when you're walking down the street and your friend trips and they fall down. You make sure they're okay, but part of you chuckles, you might even laugh out loud. But if it's your coworker that you don't like or your boss and they trip and fall, you're definitely going to be laughing a lot harder, maybe in private, but still, I don't know, for some reason it's funny, it feels good. Pleasure is derived from not so much seeing them in physical pain or suffering, but from taking delight in their fall from grace, especially if you found their position envious or undeserved. It can get real toxic though, because when you like seeing it, you're going to go back for it, but it's causing these feelings of anger and maybe jealousy and just negative emotions. And this leads to something that I like to call hate following. And I didn't coin this term, but I learned about it on my own, actually. And that's from personal experience. I hate followed the shit out of someone for years, and it really hurt my depression. My mental health took a big hit I was in a relationship where the guy cheated, and it really hurt. And I directed all of my anger at the other woman, and once things moved on, I could not let go. Like, I was crazy. I would check all the time, and it was like, why? I wanted to see her suffer, but then I didn't. I also just wanted to see what she was doing. So I couldn't tell what my intentions were, and eventually I called myself out and just added her on Instagram, and she was pretty cool. Doing that, I moved on. I didn't really care about what she was doing. I got to know her. She's a cool girl, and I didn't have any point to continue following her, so I did unsubscribe to her. It was no hard feelings. I don't think she really wanted to see me around. I think she was just being nice, but it's a very, very unhealthy thing to do. But we all do it. We all have that one person on our social media feed that we just don't like. Like, their posts pop up and you're like,
oh, that's so annoying.
Or,
oh my god, this person overshares every time.
We don't need to let anyone rent space in our head for free. But a lot of us do it, especially when we hate follow. And it's just such a normal thing. So many of us do it without even realizing. Maybe it's not as toxic as my experience. You know, it might just be someone that mildly annoys you. But why don't you just unfollow them? Any short-term benefits that you get from hate following someone are lost when in terms of like long-term peace of mind, long-term happiness, long-term self-confidence. Like, it's not worth it. It's truly not. Your life gets so much better once you stop. Once you just acknowledge it and fix it. We are ultimately responsible for our anger. Yeah, it's a reactive thing, but ultimately we control who makes us angry, what makes us angry, why it made us angry, and how it's going to affect us. Might not be an instantaneous thing, you know, you might have to take a moment to step back and be like,
Well, what's going on?
you can't control anything that anyone else does, no matter how hard you try. Just like this video, I'm not trying to tell you to not be angry or tell you to not hate follow someone. I'm just making you aware of it. We all do it. It's just life. But the only person you can control is yourself. You can't control what happens to you. You can't control what other people do. You can only control how you react and interact with other people. I hope this helps you make better choices, you know, for your own mental health. I hope that if you're hate following someone, you stop, or at least come to terms with the fact that you are. In fact, if you are hate following someone, drop me a comment and let me know. But we can literally curate our social media feeds. So if you're seeing posts from someone that you don't like or that annoys you, stop. Unfollow them. That's all I have for today, guys. I will catch you in the next video. My last video got more dislikes than it did likes, and I wasn't even trying to pick sides. I need to know that you guys don't hate me. Actually, I don't really care.